The Blast from Our Past Network.
Podcasting After Dark presents TV Obscura, a deep dive into underrated and unknown television shows from our youth. Cartoons, sitcoms, cop shows, and much more. Sit back and enjoy some nostalgic fun with TV Obscura.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting After Dark presents TV Obscura. I'm 1/3 of the TV Obscura team, Corey, a.k.a. Sleazy C. Joined with me, as always, my two brothers from other mothers, Zach the Total Stack and Schaefer, and Diallo the Armageddon Jackson. And I'm also joined with my other two brothers from another mother, the Speas brothers.
Hey.
That's right, we got John and Adam Speas here. John, tell us a little bit about Throwback Trivia Takedown.
No.
Oh, boo.
Okay. Throwback Trivia Takedown is a trivia podcast. It's a head-to-head trivia game. The topics are mostly based in what we consider our nostalgia. So from the 50s all the way up to the 2000s, and it's all like pop culture related stuff.
And did it spin off of Blast from Our Past? Did you guys start doing some trivia there and then spun it into Throwback Trivia Takedown? Or was it always a separate thing?
We did some like test ones.
We did some test runs on our Patreon on that, but it was not meant to be a direct spin-off. It was just an additional thing we wanted to do.
Okay. The wildly successful Throwback Trivia Takedown. Adam,
Sure, I guess.
Adam,
I mean,
getting there to be
some things.
getting there to be successful. Star Wars and Whiskey Pours is a show that you and I do. Can you tell everybody about that one?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure talking any kind of content with you. And since we have done Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, we wanted to do another piece of media that we absolutely adore. And for tax purposes, so I can write off some of my bottles that I buy, we added in Whiskey Pours, talking whiskey reviews as well. And I send you those, and we discuss, and somehow I relate them very pedantically into how whatever we're talking about, but it's a damn good time. I think we're talking whiskey, we are talking Star Wars, and we're just kind of going off the rails. It's a damn good time.
That's right. And after we record this episode, I'm going to start watching Ahsoka season 1 for the third time. So we're going to be talking about that. And then John will be on a new episode talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn, kind of just a general discussion about him.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's my boy right there.
I know, dude. I know.
You're my boy, Blue.
I see you, dude. And of course, Zach and Diallo, and like all five of us, we go back a long time, with Blast from Our Past and everything. We've all been on each other's shows and done a lot of different stuff. But Zach and Diallo, happy to have you guys here talking about Duckman and The Critic. Not everybody at once.
Oh yeah, here we go.
How awkward.
Locked
I love
and
it.
loaded.
It's almost as if we've been doing this for like 7 years.
Yeah, we're all professionals.
We're all professionals. It's great, actually. So this coupling, Duckman and The Critic, has been a show that we've, like a TV Obscura episode that we've been wanting to do with Adam and John for a while now. But I am terrible at scheduling. Scheduling is literally my least favorite fucking thing to do for this job. But here we are. And we're talking about 1994, guys. We're going to be talking, both shows are from 1994, but let's kick it off with The Critic. And I got a little bit of a background here for it. The Critic is an animated sitcom revolving around the life of New York film critic Jay Sherman, voiced by John Lovitz. It was created by writing partners Al Jean and Mike Riaz, who had previously worked as writers and showrunners on the third and fourth seasons of The Simpsons. Only 23 episodes of The Critic were produced. The show was first broadcast on ABC in 1994 and finished its original run on Fox in 1985. The show returned in Flash animated webisode form in 2000 and 2001 for a third season with 10 3 to 5 minute installments. It aired on Cartoon Network with Duckman as a precursor to Adult Swim. So we got, obviously, I said we have John Lovitz, but other notable cast members include Maurice LaMarche, who was, Egon on The Real Ghostbusters, Nancy Cartwright, who is Bart on The Simpsons, Charles Napier, and Zach, Garrett Graham. I didn't realize he was on this show until just now.
One of the best parts of the show, Garrett Graham from Phantom of the Paradise and Terror Vision and Used Cars, I think. And
Shopping Mall and what was that one movie we reviewed? The Annihilators or something like that?
Annihilators he was in. Great actor. I think he's kind of reclusive now. He's kind of because he hasn't done any movies or TV for quite some time. But man, that guy was everywhere in the 80s.
He was a big cult actor. He was also in Chud 2, Bud the Chud, or wherever the hell that was called.
Right, he played Bud.
Yeah, Bud the Chud.
Y'all never seen him in Terrorvision. That's one of his highlights. Terrorvision and Phantom of the Paradise, Brian De Palma's version of Phantom of the Opera. So good. The music in that's amazing.
Yeah, I love me some Garrett Graham, and I love his character on the show. But so John, kick us off. What's your, did you watch it back in the day, and what'd you think of it now?
Okay, so I definitely watched The Critic. I cannot remember if I actually watched it in its initial run or if I watched it in the numerous amounts of reruns where I saw it, not just on Cartoon Network, but I'm pretty sure on Comedy Central.
I remember Comedy Central.
I think that's where I mostly saw it. But I watched it fairly religiously because I think it was on like every night on Comedy Central, like 8:30 or 9 or something like that. God, did I love this show. It was funny and, humor that was topical but still works. And I know this because I was watching it earlier today in preparation for this. Both of my kids came around and sat down to watch it. I don't know how much my daughter really paid attention. My son, though, loves it. And I think sometime during the pandemic, maybe later in the pandemic, around 2021, I have the DVD set.
Oh, cool.
Of the first 2 seasons.
I think it has the webisodes on it too.
No, mine doesn't because I got mine before they did the web from around the time they did the webisodes.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah, that's how long I've had the DVDs actually is since like the really early 2000s, since before they really did that. But we did a watch through of it, and I think my son really loved it then, so he was happy to sit down and watch it with me. And I mean, you could some jokes may not be appropriate for today, but they're still funny.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it with the humor derived from a lot of the movie parody stuff. Like movies, you can always go back and watch. Like the very first episode starts with a Alien 3 parody. And it's not like it's topical, of course, of the time, but you can always go back and watch Alien 3. But like if you make your jokes more of like topical jokes, not based on films, I think that's what doesn't hold up as well. But yeah, I think it's
agree.
As funny as hell. I'm glad to hear that it holds up to today. Zach, did you have Bodie watch any of this at all?
I didn't, but I agree with John. I think if I showed Bodie, he would love it. I feel like it's what Family Guy should have been, but it never was. And, take that, Seth MacFarlane. Because I watched the one... it was like episode 2 about career day with his son Marty, and there's one funny topical joke with Woody Allen shows up at the kids' school with Sun Yi, and he's like he goes you're here for career day, and he goes, oh, career day, I thought it was the prom, and he runs off.
I mean, that's fun. It's kind of topical even to today with everything.
Yeah, it sure is. But no, it's so good, and it's harmless, man. Like I agree with John. There's some jokes that don't hit or that definitely are like, ooh, that's a little cringy. But it's still it's kind of harmless fun, and it makes sense that it started out on ABC. I didn't know that, but then wound up on Fox, where maybe got a little edgier, right, in Comedy Central. But yeah, I love it too. I think it's so funny, and it's just it's so great to hear all the voice actors, and it's like a throwback, but it doesn't feel that far back. Feels kind of like you could easily watch it now and be like, did this come out? Is this a new thing or is this an old thing?
But damn, it's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zach, you did watch it back in the day though?
I did. I watched it sparingly. 94 makes sense that I was like, well, I'm just gonna focus my time on wrestling. So
Oh,
it wasn't-
is that the year
that
that you basically took on one thing that you liked and went full hog into it?
pretty much, yeah. Because yeah, like that was the year where I'm like, I just can watch that thing that no one else cares about, and I love it, and I'm gonna watch it as much as I can.
In 94, did you
In that
graduate
voice.
that year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in that voice. You
In
still
that
do
voice.
that today.
Yeah, I do. It's my child voice. Yeah, no, I graduated in 94, so I was thinking about all sorts of other things at that time, and then watching The Critic on TV.
Yeah. No, I was a sophomore in
You know what I mean?
'94, so it hit right at the perfect spot. I absolutely
Did
loved it. Yeah, yeah, the G spot. But
Wow.
or should I say
Yeah,
I like
learned,
tee
you
you
learned
up.
nothing in science class, I'll tell you, because you don't have one of those, brother.
Guys, like Diallo and I, we tee Corey up all the time, not expecting him to go full into the water, but he just like jumps head first in even if the water's shallow as hell, he's just like, I'm so wet.
and then Adam, I sink like a rock. But yeah, I'll just say that I watched it religiously back in the day, especially since I was a Fox kid. I don't know, maybe I missed it when it was on ABC, but I remember watching it on Fox. And Adam can attest to this. I love John Lovitz. There's some comedians where they kind of just have one shtick, but like I love that shtick, and it never got old for me. And he's just one of my favorites. And yeah, this always worked for me. And John Lovitz will always be the man to me. But Adam, what's your experience with The Critic?
My experience is my brother's experience. Like a lot of media for me, it came from my brother or some of it my sister, my dad, and my mom. They really introduced me to a lot of music, to TV and movies. And because John was watching it, I wanted to be like Big Brother and watch The Critic as well. So I didn't watch the original run. I watched it on Comedy Central, is what I remember. But I also adored it. And as a movie, like all of us, I'm a movie guy. Every single one of us loves movies.
Yeah.
And so this show really appealed to me because it's making fun of and talking about things that I understand and I love and I just had a passion for. And so I watched it either with John or just kind of on my own. And as I got older and he left for college and whatnot, I kind of would watch this one. And I remember, I think when I was in college, I bought the DVDs because I got to watch it as well. And so you couldn't stream it anywhere. It's too early for that. But they didn't have it on anything else. So I needed to watch The Critic. And my God, the voice acting is so incredible, as you guys have already talked about. I mean, it's like an amazing all-star cast. People, you didn't even mention the theme song composed by Hans Zimmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
Incredible. I mean, it's not his best work, I'll tell you. It is just it's another. I'm a husky guy, and it's another fat protagonist who is sarcastic and funny, and I appreciated that.
Diallo, what is your experience with The Critic?
You should have made me go first because I'm kind of the hater.
No, that's okay. That's
when it comes
okay.
to this. I never watched it when it was on. I remember when it dropped, and it just, I don't know, but there was no judgment really in my brain about it. It wasn't something that interests me. I was way into watching. I can't do Zach's voice.
Try, Diallo. That's not bad. That wasn't bad.
I was watching other things.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
In there. Give me an ABC take.
Yeah, it just wasn't in my little realm of like stuff that I was into at the moment. I watched at the only like kind of adult animation I think I would have watched at the time was like Simpsons, and then Liquid Television, MTV.
Oh yeah,
whatever that
yeah,
was.
dude, yeah.
Right.
The head.
Yeah. I was really into that. But other than that, I didn't really, and like, I can't stand John Lovitz. I just can't stand him. There's only one thing he's ever done that I like, and it's like just a little bit in The Wedding Singer when he's like, "Can you dance like this?" And
He's
I like
losing
that little
his
line.
mind.
I gotta
and-
defend my boy in A League of Their Own. If you like that movie, he's hilarious in that movie.
Yeah. See, like
But it's just like
I
it's
dislike
little,
him so
little
much. I
bits.
don't even remember he was in the movie, actually. Um, but yeah, so and then also, yeah, watching this was the first time I actually sat down to watch any of it. I watched the webisodes and I watched episode and I thought it was actually like funny enough. But it's like again, like compared to like Zach, you were saying how like it did better than Family Guy. I'm like, no, in my brain, I was watching and I literally thought it was like Family Guy, but
Yeah.
Family Guy perfected the formula because Family Guy was hilarious. So yeah, that's my take on it. It's like it was, it's fine, and and I'm really weird about my like types of humor that I like too. So anything that kind of relies on one kind of gag or gimmick to reference kind of turns me off. And I mean, obviously, I thought a lot of the things they referenced were funny, but if it's all just like movie stuff, then to me it feels I don't know, less creative. And so I kind of turn off. But at the same time, I did like some of the stuff I did see. I thought it was funny. So that's my it's not a hater, but
I appreciate you committing though. You watched multiple episodes, and even though you don't like John Lovitz, I appreciate that.
hey man, I like I got this is work, man.
I gotta do the work.
I give
Yeah.
110% every time. The webisodes were actually more painful than
Yeah.
than the actual show. That's for sure.
I
So,
caught a couple of them, and I liked how good the animation looked. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, ooh, it's rough. But like going back to Family Guy, and obviously this is the precursor to that. And I had the same feeling when I was watching this. I was like, oh, it's reminding me of Family Guy, knowing that this came first. With the humor, a lot of the humor revolves around that saying something. What is this award for? Or mentioning like this horse or something. He had an incident, and then they flash back and show you like what happened and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, oh, okay, that's funny. But also too, are we kind of like the last generation that really has like the whole critic thing, like, Siskel and Ebert and Gene Shalit and all of them, like, do the kids, I guess, John and Zach, do the kids have any kind of personalities like this anymore? Or is it all just YouTubers now?
It's just YouTubers with zero personality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, you think most of those reviewers are actually in those episodes. Rex
Right,
Reed, Gene
yeah.
Shalit, Siskel and Ebert, and it's just a different vibe. It's like, it's influencers now who are guiding these movies, and not all of them, like there's still guys out there that review movies, and
Yeah.
but the personalities aren't the same like they used to be.
Right.
They're just crazy online. Like they just like, I mean, I mostly know from some of the video game people, but like they're
Same.
just they all act the exact same, and they're just crazy and wacky, and like they don't have any substance to them.
Yeah, there's
And the videos that I see, John, do your kids watch a lot of the like YouTube Minecraft stuff or whatever?
I don't know if it's specifically Minecraft. They do watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and it depends what it is. My kids, however, are a little bit different. Like my kids are different than, I guess, normal kids. Because first of all, my daughter, huge horror fan,
Okay.
watches horror movies all the time, and has actually started watching old movies. She actually sat down and watched 12 Angry Men with me, and her
Great
and my
movie.
wife watched Breakfast at Tiffany's the other day.
Dang.
cool.
So she's been getting into some I guess sort of pseudo classic films. My son, right now, pretty big Tarantino fan, I think.
Dang. Wow.
We haven't watched all of his stuff, but we've watched some of his stuff, and he's loving that. And then on top of that, my son's a big like music kid, so.
What'd your daughter think of Mickey Rooney's impersonation? in
Yeah, that's the
Breakfast
first
at
thing that
Tiffany?
came to my mind.
My wife made sure to preface that she was going to see that before it happened.
Have your daughter watch The Party with Peter Sellers. She wants a accurate depiction of what a white guy playing a Middle Eastern guy is like.
Well, couldn't she just watch Short Circuit?
Short Circuit? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That too.
It's Indian, not Middle Eastern.
Well, no, he watched. Fun fact. Fisher Stevens watched The Party to get his influence for his part in Short Circuit. So yeah,
Wow.
so there you go.
I still love Fisher Stevens.
Oh, it's not his fault. It's like it's
that he
it's
played
just
brownface.
super problematic. Yeah, but I will say too, like the critics back in the day. God, there was one guy, I think it was Rex Reed. He used to take himself so seriously, and I remember the reviewers always struck me as guys who like wanted to be. They want, Gene Siskel wrote a screenplay for something, and if you look it up, it's a little blue.
Yeah, is the Beyond the Valley of the Dolls or something?
Something like that. Yeah. But, they're like, I don't want to say failed, but they definitely wish they could have been more than what they are or what they ended up being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there was kind of like a chip on their shoulder bitterness. Gene Shalit kind of had a wacky silliness side to him, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But like some of those guys always came off like, kind of cold about it, like especially the horror genre, John. Like so many critics hated the horror genre back in the day. Siskel and Ebert bashed so many films because it was a horror movie. It was like they looked down upon that stuff, and so I think. But our generation's the last one to really get that, because now influencers are just like, it's good or it's bad. You got Rotten Tomatoes now,
Right. And I honestly think, sorry, I'm cutting you off here. I honestly think what we have now is a direct response to the kind of, because I remember the same thing. I remember reading reviews going, God, this guy doesn't like anything. And like, or I'd go see it and I'm like, well, I liked it. And I don't know why like they didn't. So I just stopped listening to them.
Right.
And I'm more likely to want to listen to someone who is, I would consider my peer, was around my age. So now I can see kids wanting to listen to influencers and stuff to say, about what movie.
Because it would started going in that direction when you're like, okay, the only opinion about horror movies I would care about would be somebody from Rue Morgue or Fangoria. So I wouldn't care about what Siskel and Ebert had to say about horror movies, but I might be curious what they're going to say about, Dances with Wolves or something like that,
I think a lot of the, I see quite a few like movie reviewers I'm on TikTok all the time, and I see a lot on there, like, so the influencers. And I think the difference between like you were saying, the influencers of today versus like Siskel and Ebert is that Siskel and Ebert and Rex Reed, there's another guy, I can't remember his name.
Diallo, it's the one I've been trying to think of this entire time. I'm sure when I say it, you can be like, that guy.
Yeah, like I can see him. I can see his
the
hair.
Glasses. Yeah.
Well, Gene Shalit was the bad guy with the glasses and the hair.
No, there's another guy. His hair was kind of like, I don't know. Anyways, like John Davidson's hair. They were all journalists. They actually were trained writers, and that's kind of how they were writing really good reviews, and they kind of made the leap into TV. So the background and the way that they talked about films, I think was like a lot more informed. And not to say that in like all of the influencers are like they're not uneducated or something, but like a lot of these, I don't know, like if you did take film and you do know about lighting and you do know about cinematography, you might be a little bit more snobby. It's just kind of the way it is. And I think, shutting yourself off from all different genres, I think, is not necessarily helpful as well. So I think that's why that's why you got that version of critic more so then. But yeah, there was like, they were a lot more gatekeepery. So it was almost like you can't enjoy anything that's not meant to be like highbrow. But today you get a lot of people that are just like, oh, I just love movies, and they're so excited, which is great. But then you don't necessarily get like anything of depth, I think. So other than it was cool, I guess, why was it cool? And I'm going to toot my horn a little bit because, I do a lot of reviews, and actually like a lot of people like the reviews that I do, because I do like, I look at things critically, but like it's like, obviously, we talk about it all the time. Waterworld, my favorite movies. I love Fast and Furious, but I can like pull out like why things actually might work or why they might not, and I'll watch anything. But I don't necessarily think you get that from a lot of the influencers I see. They're really, and a lot of times they're really into the fandom. I noticed too,
Oh yeah.
which isn't really something I find of value. But anyway, those are all my thoughts.
Wait, Adam, real quick before you go on. Diallo, were you thinking Leonard Maltin?
That's what I was
thinking
gonna
of.
say.
Yeah.
You know who was really good? Was I was gonna say really quick, Peter Travers from Rolling Stone. He was always
Yeah.
a really good reviewer. That guy.
Yeah.
I was going to mention some of the influencers that I've seen. It's either, yes, they're so into the fandom that they can't say anything bad, or like the idea of just, not to say people are hate watching, but there's a whole thing. They're doing clickbait videos where they're just like, oh, everything sucks here and this is all bullshit and et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, well, some stuff, is bad. But some stuff's not nearly as bad as what you're saying. Or they're appealing to certain crowds, whether it's, the right or left wing on the political spectrum, and they're just trying to push some kind of narrative because, they think that will get them the most clicks, and they're not actually doing a good breakdown of the film.
Yeah. I mean, technically because Adam and John, you guys had a movie podcast, Blast from Our Past and everything. Technically all 5 of us here are critics, right? Aren't we technically movie critics?
We're no Jiminy Glick, that's for sure. That guy. Now that guy's a critic.
I couldn't stand that character.
Oh, I love Jimmy.
I love Jiminy Glick.
Fucking character.
It's funny when people actually think he's serious, because there are some clips online where they like really thought he was real. They didn't know it was Martin.
That's Martin
Short,
Short, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh man. Well, John, final thoughts on the critic, and actually, you know what? Who was your favorite critic growing up? Were you a Siskel and Ebert guy? Like any one of them you liked more than others?
I didn't really. I don't know if I really had a favorite one. Whenever, as Zach said, whenever Gene Shalit came on, I would watch because he was kind of goofy. Yeah. But I didn't watch. What was he on? Is the Today Show?
Today Show.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Today Show. I didn't watch the Today Show that regularly, so I didn't see all that much. And I didn't watch Siskel and Ebert's show really either. Most of the time because they bummed me the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really had a favorite critic per se.
I got to give Siskel props because he liked Mortal Kombat, the movie first one. Final thoughts, John, on The Critic, the TV show.
I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I still think it's funny. After watching, I think I watched like 3 episodes earlier today. I'm probably gonna just throw them back on because right now they're on Tubi for free.
Yeah, that's where I was watching it. Yeah,
yeah. I'm probably just gonna throw it back on and get my kids to watch. We'll watch the whole series.
Yeah, it's not a lot of episodes, so you can easily get through that.
I would say my favorite character.
Yeah,
or my favorite voice, Chuck Napier.
Yeah,
that Duke is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. He's the Ted Turner style. But he adds so much comedy to every scene he's in.
Yeah. Adam, final thoughts, and your favorite character as well, and maybe your favorite critic if you had one.
I didn't really listen to a lot of the critics. I will say there was a video essay series that I got into for a while called Every Frame of Painting, and he stopped doing them, but they were incredible. I mean, also as a film student, who I went to school and did film. My minor was film studies. I enjoy some of the video essays that they really kind of break down a specific topic, and I thought he did a wonderful job of discussing, say, the perfection of the comedy of Buster Keaton and his style, or Jackie Chan's comedy martial arts style. How some of the things, I thought those were particularly great episodes. So I'll give him my props.
Nice.
As for a favorite character, the side character, I agree with John. Duke Phillips was, I thought, the funniest, but I mean, Jay, I related, of course, to Jay Sherman, and as I said before, husky and liked movies and a bit nerdy. But he's still got the hot babes, just like me.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
That's true. And then, do you think you're gonna do a rewatch on The Critic now?
It's a show that I'd say every couple years I will go back and kind of rewatch. It's probably been about 4 years since I've done a watch through, and so I think it's about time to put it on Tubi and go through.
Yeah, I need to go on Amazon because I honestly, me watching it this time, I haven't seen it since probably that early 2000s when it was on the precursor to Adult Swim. But it sits so fondly like in my memory, and I loved it just so much when I was younger. Leonard Maltin was always kind of one of my go-tos. I don't know, I just kind of always liked his vibe as far as like real life critics go. And I liked on the TV show The Critic, I liked the guy that was like the Crocodile Dundee character. I always thought he was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, his
but
friend.
like ultimately Jay Sherman was my favorite because I just, like I said, I love John Lovitz's shtick. And it's one of those things where I totally get it if you don't. Like it's definitely one of those love it or hate it type of guys. He just kind of hits me though, and Adam, you know as well as I do on Seinfeld. Good for you, Jack. Jack. One of my favorite things ever. But yeah, I would actually very much like to do a rewatch and put this into the rotation now. So I might go try to find out how much the DVD is and pick that up. Also, side note, probably because it's around the same era and time, kind of want to do a rewatch of the Clerks cartoon. I love that thing back in the day.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe we'll do a TV Obscura with all 5 of us on that one because I freaking loved that one. Diallo, final thoughts on watching a few episodes and everything like that. And did you have a side character you liked at all?
No.
Let the hate flow through you.
I watched a couple of videos talking about like the history of the show and like why it exists and stuff, and a lot of them were titled like why everyone was too stupid to appreciate it. And I was like, I guess I'm an idiot because
Did you pick up anything interesting from those behind the scene videos or whatever?
Yeah, there was one that actually, I mean, it was talking about how originally, like, it kind of came about because there was supposed to be a spin-off of The Simpsons with Krusty the Clown, and then that got canceled, and I think they used that energy to make The Critic. But
I can see
I'm missing a
that.
bunch of steps in there, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like where, because like, yeah, when you see like Alf Clausen is the composer for the show, which is, you know, from Simpsons, and it has that, you know, what's the production company at the end of the Simpsons?
Gracie.
Yeah, except they didn't do the music.
It wasn't
when I
great.
watched.
Yeah, Gracie Films.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's I'm glad you guys love it. Glad you love it.
Because you mentioned Simpsons, the crossover episode I thought was actually very funny. So Jay Sherman goes over and he's on The Simpsons. There was a great line at the end where Jay Sherman's character is like, oh, maybe one day you guys can come over onto my show. And Bart's like, I don't think that's going to happen. And like closes the door in front of him.
I remember that.
Great.
Zach, final thoughts. Also, favorite real life critic, and did you have any side characters you liked?
The Garrett Graham plays Jay's dad.
Yeah,
right?
he was great.
I love that. I found like a best of clip online and was watching a bunch of those. I thought that was pretty funny, and I like that guy anyway. So, yeah, I was happy to revisit it. It's always interesting watching these shows where like it kind of just skipped me a little bit. You know, like I said, I wasn't really watching it consistently. And to watch it with a lens now where I'm just like, oh, the jokes hit differently, and it's nostalgic. You know, it's a pure nostalgic movie, especially when you're watching a show that's referencing movies from 30, 40, 50 years ago. I will say that I didn't necessarily like these guys, but I used to watch because we mostly had PBS as a little kid, watching sneak previews with Jeffrey Lyons and Michael Medved. They were two kind of snooty reviewers too. Like, you know, they were fine, but it was my opportunity. That was basically our YouTube back in the day.
Right,
when,
yeah.
These shows, because they had clips from the movies and it wouldn't just be the trailer. So, or not the trailer at all. They would just show you a clip from the film. And it was cool to see what was coming out. And I like the intro to sneak previews. And to this day, I can still see it in my mind. And yeah, that gets me all the feels from my childhood.
Yeah, and I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean by like, because you know you graduated high school this year and everything. Because we're going to talk about Duckman next, and it had like many more seasons, had 4 seasons. And I remember starting to watch it because I was in high school, but by the time I graduated, and even though I was in community college and I was like working at Funko Land and stuff, I didn't watch much TV then. So like it's going to be that kind of conversation for me with the latter half of Duckman. And I think that is like a period of time, and especially since we do this show, TV Obscura, whenever things hit around our graduation time or when we're in college or something, I just wasn't watching TV then. I was chasing girls, and by the time I was in college, drinking and smoking cigarettes and
Other
stuff.
things.
Smoking weed.
Yeah, baby.
Drinking beers. Rolling fatties. Rolling.
All right, well let's go into Duckman. Hey everybody, Corey here. I just wanted to let you know that we'll be right back after these short messages.
Have you been wondering where's the beef? Well, on our podcast, Throwback Trivia Takedown, you might just find that out, as well as some other things about the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
We're a nostalgic-based trivia show that pits 2 challengers head-to-head in a duel of the decades, with categories ranging from movies, TV and music, to slang, food, and fashion. You're sure to get the best in retro-themed trivia.
So strap on your jelly shoes, grab a Surge, and walk like an Egyptian to your favorite podcast app and check out Throwback Trivia Takedown.
I heard even Mikey likes it.
And now, back to the show. The full title is Duckman, Private Dick Family Man, but Duckman is what everybody sort of refers to it as, is an animated adult sitcom created and developed by Everett Peck. And I had no idea about this, based on his 1990 one-shot comic book published by Dark Horse Comics. I had no idea this came from a comic book, and I read Dark Horse Comics pretty much exclusively in the 90s. It follows Eric Tiberius Duckman, voiced by Jason Alexander, a private detective who lives with his family. Duckman aired on the USA Network from 1994 to 1997 for a total of 4 seasons and 70 episodes. Also, I was shocked when I was writing this. I had no idea it was on for 4 seasons. I thought it was on for like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Other notable cast members include Nancy Travis, E.G. Daily, Dweezil Zappa, and Tim Curry. Wild. E.G. Daily, Zach. That was another one that I was like, holy shit, blew me away.
Oh, this is a who's who of voice talent.
Yes, feel free when we talk, bring up
Yeah.
other voice actors because there's a million of them. But John, I'll have you kick us off again. We'll kind of go in the same order. What is your experience with Duckman?
Sure, you don't want me to go first?
Oh boy.
You can let Diallo go first. Let's let Diallo go first.
Diallo, do you want to go first, buddy?
No. We'll
Yeah,
keep this in.
No, it's too late. You've already put your foot
I
in
was
there.
dropping my little jokes in there. But,
Okay.
we're
All right.
good.
All right. John, Duckman, Private Dick, Family Man.
So it was definitely a show I watched. I would not say it was a show I watched regularly. I probably watched it if it was on. You mentioned I don't necessarily remember a Duckman Critic back-to-back. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. And it's possible that I probably watched Duckman waiting for the Critic or after the Critic or whatever. Because, again, there was not a lot of choices. I remember enjoying some of it. I remember it was not like I never seeked it out. It was just something I watched if it happened to be on.
Okay. And when you watched it now, did you watch which episodes did you watch?
I watched like 1.5 episodes. And it was not because I didn't like it. It was because I ran out of time.
Okay. Well, also keep in mind at the end of this, I will ask you which one you prefer over the other, but we don't have to do that just yet.
Okay. It's gonna be pretty obvious.
Yeah, I know. I think everybody knows.
But the thing is I probably haven't watched this show in honestly decades might be the best descriptor, or close to decades. But when I rewatched it, a lot of the characters all of a sudden kind of flooded back to me. It was like, oh, I remember this character. I remember this character.
The two-headed son.
The two-headed son. The kind of pseudo Keanu Reeves Ajax son,
Yeah.
sort of surfer dude.
Grandma
corn-fed
was
pig.
comatose and
Yeah.
flatulent.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like a lot of these characters, I actually remembered, which was a surprise to me. I couldn't think of anything. I think when it was either you or Adam mentioned Duckman, for some reason my head immediately went to Dr. Katz instead, and I got the two conflated for a second, and then I was like, oh no, wait, that's but it was fine. There was again a lot of jokes that probably would not be kosher today, but there was still some fun stuff in there too.
Yeah. Adam, did Seinfeld, George Costanza, did he bring you into Duckman like me?
He didn't, but I do love Jason Alexander as a voice actor, and I think he nails it in Duckman. I mean, he's, as we know, he's such an intelligent guy, or at least he seems like such an intelligent guy, and he plays that kind of, asshole who thinks he's smarter than you, even though he usually isn't, like in George, or many times with Duckman as well. And I thought his voice worked wonderfully here. I can't say Seinfeld brought me to the show. It was surprise, probably because John watched it is why I watched it. But I very similarly don't remember watching on USA. I am sure it was on Comedy Central around the same time as The Critic or other shows that I was just watching in a block. And I just became like, oh, I'm going to watch this as well. And I liked it. I did enjoy the show. I definitely forgot that it was on for 70 episodes. I was like, I was shocked. I thought it was going to be half that. But yeah, I like that. I was appealed by the animation style. So it's the same guys who do All Real Monsters and Rugrats, and it just, once I kind of was starting to rewatch, I watched episode 1 and then like another random one, I was like immediately taken back to the 90s. Just the style just screamed 90s to me, and it's because there are other shows, that I'm familiar with, and that style is from that area. But I like it. It fits, and especially in like that adult kind of weird, kind of wacky stuff.
All the ladies had big bosoms in it. It was pretty wild. But Adam, I don't remember if it was in episode 1 or 2 because I watched the first 2. Yeah. There was a baby in it that looked like the main kid from Rugrats.
Yeah, and then obviously a thing because it's the same company.
Yeah.
Clasco.
Yeah, I think I was brought to it. I think I was aware of it because of Jason Alexander. I was like, oh, I was very hyper aware of it from Seinfeld because I was also getting Entertainment Weekly. I was reading that pretty frequently, and I remember Seinfeld was always a big deal and everything in Entertainment Weekly, and I still remember when they would have these big in the middle of the summer, they'd be talking like, oh, is Seinfeld coming back next season? They're all negotiating their wages and all this kind of stuff. I remember that for a few years that was a big deal. So I think through Entertainment Weekly I discovered Duckman, and I watched it so much when it was on USA. And then it was one of those things where I think I just caught it later in the 2000s when I was living with my college friends and stuff. And I was like, oh, fuck, I remember this show. But, at the time, I didn't know how many seasons it was. I was just like, oh, I remember this show. I remember I freaking loved it. And watching it now, I think I actually enjoyed some of the jokes more. I think I understood some of the jokes a little bit more this time around. It's not to say I didn't like it back in the day, but I definitely, if you asked me back in the 94, I would have said The Critic over Duckman, but they were kind of neck and neck for me. I very much enjoyed both of them. But I kind of liked Duckman a little bit more now watching it as an adult. Zach, what was your experience with them?
Yeah, this is one I definitely did not watch, but I feel like the marketing around it was pretty strong. I think once it hit USA, it felt like I was just seeing either billboards or maybe because it was a comic book originally, seeing ads in comic books. It tracks. It totally makes sense, Adam. You unlocked a core memory of Rugrats and Wild Thornberrys and all those similar shows. It reminded me, I think I brought this up on a TV Obscura episode when we talked about Men in Black, the Jumanji cartoon back in the day, the kind of it just that similar vibe. The animation reminded me of that. I don't think I was I definitely was I'm not watching this show. It was just more I knew it was there, and it just kind of went over me. I think Diallo was saying, I think animated shows I was watching back in the day at that time that I kind of was excited about was like Aeon Flux, you know, and like MTV's Liquid Television.
And the Max, maybe.
Yeah, like that stuff was the things that maybe I seeked out. I definitely seeked out Aeon Flux.
I watched that recently and thought it was god awful, but I was too young and didn't watch it at all when I was younger.
I probably feel the same way now. I don't know. I think back in the day, I was just more like, this is cool because MTV was still relatively trying to do like edgy new things, and they hadn't totally gone into the reality realm yet. I don't know. It was cool, but yeah, I didn't watch it. So honestly, this is the first time I ever watched a show was today, and I watched the pilot and I was like, this is entertaining. Like I can see why, you know, people found this cool back then. And it's, yeah, it didn't get me as much as the Critic did, I guess. I think the whole Critic thing was because it's like movie references. It's all geek stuff, you know. This was just like more like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm not hating on it. It just was like not for me.
Yeah. And speaking of comic books, like I could see this the same, you know, with Dark Horse, because wasn't the Flaming Carrot Dark Horse as well? So
and I've referenced that. That should have been a cartoon. Why was that not a cartoon?
I think it might have had a
Flaming Carrot.
I don't think it was.
No, it never made it. Okay,
I don't think so.
Okay,
but God, there were so many cool. Remember Rogue Trooper?
Yeah. Like that was based on
cool
that was based on a. Was it 2000 AD that puts out Judge Dredd comics over?
Judge Dredd?
Yeah, Rogue Trooper was one of theirs, and there was an awesome issue. I have it still of Heavy Metal that redid Rogue Trooper in it, and it was really really cool. Real quick, Zach, talking about Aeon Flux. I remember the guy who did all the main design, like you know, it's his artwork essentially. You know, he also did a Phantom show, like Phantom 20.
Phantom was cool.
Yeah, Phantom 20.
That was good.
37 or something like that.
Yeah, some random group of numbers. Maybe we got to do them back to back because
Scott Valentine was like the lead act. He played the Phantom.
That's right. Holy
From
shit.
Family Ties, Scott Valentine.
Yeah, we interviewed him. Holy shit. Oh man, and real quick, one thing I loved about Duckman was when that fucking pigeon shits on his hair and turns it pink in that one scene. Fucking that lives rent free in my head. I love that thing. Oh, Diallo.
Peter Chung was the name of the and he did remember the Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury? He did that also.
That was cool.
A cool little prequel to it was after Pitch Black, but before Chronicles.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, when you watch Duckman, you literally can hear 18-year-old Corey with his bong hitting that. You watch this show. If you listen carefully, you can hear the. Look what he just did.
Look at his purple hair from getting shat on. Oh, Diallo, Duckman.
Sorry, I mean I'm still stuck on Peter Chung. He also did one of the.
I love your delay.
He also did one of the. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid this. He also did one of the stories on the Animatrix called Matriculated.
I knew it.
Yes.
I was like, that's what I was thinking of too. Yeah,
and his art style is so unique.
Yes, so distinct. Yeah.
Oh, Animatrix.
I didn't really like the series Aeon Flux, but I liked the shorts that they had on Liquid.
The shorts are cool.
Yeah, but I don't think it really worked as a long form. Anyway,
or a feature film.
But did you like Duckman?
Duckman.
No, that Aeon Flux movie was trash.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah. That movie was terrible. Duckman.
If you say you love it, my mind will be blown.
Hated it. You know, like I've said this before when we've done TV Obscura, and this is not a judgment I ever made in the time, and it's only something I realized when I'm looking back, and I'm like, oh, I never was really into like that style of 90s animation. It's something that I realized after the fact. So I never was like in the 90s. I wasn't like, this animation sucks. It just sort of like when I'm looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, kind of like I just found myself not watching a lot of things, but I never made a judgment about it. It just was kind of like, oh, it's not for me. Because there were things I was watching, but the things I was watching all had like, you know, kind of a certain aesthetic to it. And then, you know, when we got to the late 90s, it was like nature was healing. And then we kind of got rid of that style again. And we don't really necessarily see it much anymore.
Well, it's not a TV show, but real quick, Cool World, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Cool World. I mean, yeah, I mean, I like the style. I was never really big into the movie, but you know,
Okay. Okay. All right.
but yeah, it was like, yeah, but I
Monkey
like,
Bone. Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone.
Oh yeah.
yeah, just like I just don't like, I don't know, I just don't like it. It's just like an aesthetic thing, but and it's also like the vibe of those cartoons too. They were just like kind of, so they were trying to be irreverent, and now, and then when I think about it now that I have this premise about all of it, and it was in that little era, I think it was all born from Ren and Stimpy, which I do like. But that was because it was original and it kind of like boom, and then everything else that was popular. So then now we have to like, oh, we have to try to fit into this Ren and Stimpy because that's that, you know, it's just like you do
Yeah.
with any other thing. Well,
Yeah.
Star Wars comes out, so you make a bunch of like sci-fi movies all of a sudden, you know. So
Wait,
anyway,
wait a minute, Adam, you were shaking your head. Ren and Stimpy, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Diallo's dead on that Ren and Stimpy helped brought this style and this absurdist, but Ren and Stimpy was absurdist to the extreme. I think it was fine, and I like Log, and I like some of the other things going on in the show, but overall, I think Ren and Stimpy kind of sucks.
Adam and
Y'all-
I
y'all ever
completely
watch-
disagree on that.
Yeah, yeah,
Ren and
John, I'm
Stimpy
with
was
you,
my
man.
jam.
John, I'm with you. I love Ren and Stimpy, bro.
Did y'all ever watch The Ripping Friends? That was the
Yes, I love that
short-lived-
show. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
That
I
was
don't know
on
that one either.
CBS. It
Yeah,
was like a
same guy who did Ren and Stimpy, but it was superheroes, and they were like Powdered Toast Man, but just like all of them.
yeah. He showed up at one point on that.
Without it, we would not have many of these shows like SpongeBob and all that stuff where they just get super absurd for no fucking reason. I mean, Ren
yeah,
and Stimpy
and
owned
like
that
I've
style.
never watched like I've actually never watched SpongeBob. But
SpongeBob's funny.
and Rugrats, I remember all of those things in it. But again, when they were all on, I was never like this is dumb. I just like I see an ad or whatever, and I just move on. Like I just was watching something else. I just never clicked the button to even bother to watch it. Nothing drew me to it. I'm just kind of like looking back now. I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I kind of really don't like that. And that it was in this time, this era where I wasn't really watching a lot of like the velocity or depth of cartoons that I had watched before or after. Because like in the early 2000s, again, I felt like I was watching everything again, but that's when everything started looking better designed. I don't know.
Well, also, wasn't the late 90s, was that your college era too, right? Wasn't it?
Early 90s.
Okay.
So yeah, but they like I said, like I was watching certain things, but even then it was like, when I look at I love that Spider-Man cartoon. Obviously, I love X-Men, but I would think I was watching them more because it was, we never really, especially for X-Men, and never got to see them like, other than a couple of episodes of Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends and a short. But the even like the animation style for Spider-Man wasn't like as it wasn't drawn as well as I would have liked it, but I still was into it, So it was just in that era, the way they just drew stuff, I just didn't like it. And I don't know if it was because of budget or style or whatever it was. I knew that there was a lot of, before X-Men came to air, I know there was a lot of like budget stuff that went into it. Versus how when I see X-Men now, like X-Men 97, it still has it's informed by that style, but it's like sharper and cleaner. So it's just kind of like what I like. But yeah, yeah, I mean, and it was also on USA, which I never watched. I don't think I watched any cartoons on USA. That's just because I don't know, because cable and stuff, I just never really had it. The only thing I ever watched on USA was Silk Stockings, Pacific Blue, and I think they had wrestling for a second, WWF wrestling maybe.
USA is the home of WWF.
Yeah, and that was about it for USA. I never really watched USA till much later when
Comic
like
strip.
in the early 2000s when they started having like Burn Notice and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
and the
Burn Notice.
the 4400, that's when I was watching USA.
Oh USA.
I
was
think
hot
that was
for a
on
second.
4400s on USA. But anyway,
Fuck Doc
so
Man.
yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't like, again, it's kind of humor that I don't like, where you just like, you're trying to make it as wacky, like, or as like off-brand wacky as possible. It doesn't strike me as funny, especially it feels very one note. But you can get fun jokes out of it, but I just doesn't keep me there,
Right.
So
For the record, La Femme Nikita was my USA show.
Yeah.
I do remember Dad watching Silk Stockings.
Yeah.
Because that's the show that I want to bring to TV Obscura one day.
Okay.
I was always like, there's got to be like a Cinemax version of Silk Stockings, right? There's like, I'm sure there was.
I'm sure there. I think all of Cinemax was just the
Silk
Cinemax
Stockings.
version
Yeah.
of Silk
Yeah.
Stockings.
La Femme Nikita is awesome. I talked to Cam Sully about that on his podcast.
Oh yeah, is that the one
nice.
Maggie Q or whatever, or is that
No,
the different
that-
one?
No.
That what was it? Yeah, Maggie Q's was like a kind of like it was almost like an actual sequel of the
Yeah.
USA show, kind of. I don't know if they ever stated it, but what was her name? It was a blonde. She was in Superman Returns for a second.
Peta Wilson.
Peta Wilson.
Peta.
Yeah.
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 PETA. Not
Didn't-
to be confused with PETA from
Pizza.
Hunger Games.
And she went on to do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, she was the.
Oh, no, wait, was that her? Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
she was the vampire
the-
girl.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
You know what? First of all, fuck you. I
I'm
enjoyed
waiting
the
to
hell
be
out of that movie.
impressed.
I enjoyed the hell out of the movie.
I never saw it.
It sucks so bad it caused Sean Connery to retire.
Wow.
I was so
Yeah,
annoyed that
he was
Tom
old.
Sawyer was not the right age for the time frame.
Yeah.
Today's Tom
Hey,
Sawyer.
honestly, Tom Sawyer was the only
Rush
part of the
Tom
movie
Sawyer?
that did annoy me.
Did they use
I
the
liked
Rush
all the
song?
other characters.
John, did you read the comic?
No.
Okay,
Didn't know
well-
it was a comic until much later.
Oh,
Okay.
it was nothing like the comic. It was like nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most of his stuff, most of the things that are made from whatever the fuck the home dude's name is,
Oh, Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, is not exactly like the comic.
Yeah.
Which to me
No,
is
but-
just funny because it's like rage bait for him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because
he
he
just
hates his
fucking
own
hates it.
stuff.
Yeah.
He gets mad talking about his own work. So, but I'm just like League is probably the least close to anything that he has written, which is
Which means I'll probably never read it.
Adam, do you have any favorite side characters on Duckman?
Easily corn-fed. Corn-fed pig
Yeah, corn-fed
was awesome. I mean, he's just one of those, that noir style that he had, and that, having like, it's another trope that you see all the time is the sidekick is the smarter of the two, like an Al Borland in Home Improvement, is the
Right.
person who knows more than the main guy. And he is just also, he was funny and wacky, and he got shit done. I watched one of the episodes I watched. I was watching a best of corn-fed.
Nice.
It was just multiple different clips of just him being awesome. So I appreciate
sounds
it.
like the name of it. You can make up a band.
The best of corn
Best
fed.
of corn fed.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I do remember, like, me and my friends we would say comatose and flatulent a lot. I just, for some reason, this one hit me for some reason. But I mean, as much as I did like it more than I did back then, I still probably think I like The Critic more of the two. Adam, would you move forward with Duckman, or would you just spend your time with The Critic?
I mean, I like Duckman. I could see myself maybe doing a watch through if I, get to it, but it's not going to be one where I will actively really, really seek out like The Critic. I think The Critic is just also 70 episodes is a lot more intimidating. I don't have the time for that kind of shit anymore.
Yeah.
20 something episodes. Yeah, I could do that.
If all things were said and done equal, you like The Critic though more than Duckman?
Oh yeah. The
Okay.
Critic is more my jam.
And John, we know where you stand.
Well, okay, first of all, let me answer. But before I do that, I'm going to say my favorite side character, because I didn't answer that question either, which Adam stole, because it was absolutely corn-fed.
Oh,
It
of
was
course.
absolutely the funniest one. I do want to say, as y'all were talking, I was going through and I was like, oh, maybe I can name some, mention some, famous actors or voice actors on here. First of all, the cast list on this thing is enormous.
Yeah.
The number of like names that I just saw and faces that I recognize right off the bat, it's a fucking all-star of actors in this show.
Yeah, throw some out at us.
I don't have time. I'm not joking when I say it's a fucking who's who of like character actors and even A-list actors. I mean, gonna go back to where I was. I was like towards the bottom. Names that I would recognize, like Rick Overton, say Mae Whitman. I recognize her. Lee Turgison, Ron Perlman, Alan Young, who was Scrooge McDuck.
Oh yeah.
Also Wilbur on the Talking Horse Show.
Mr. Ed.
Uh,
I can't fucking think today.
Mr. Ed.
All right. Yeah.
Mr.
David Paymer, who's
in the Time Machine.
character actor. Dave Thomas, the actor, not the Wendy's guy. I mean, literally, I would be here for like the next 5 minutes just naming all of these people that whose names I recognize.
Ice-T did 2 episodes. We got
Yeah.
James Avery, Eddie Deason, Judith Light. It's
Katie Seagal.
yeah, Gilbert Gottfried.
You've got Jim Cummings, Maurice LaMarche, and Greg Berger. Those are 3 names right there as far as animation voiceover concerned
Yeah.
that are,
Right.
gold.
John Aston.
Yeah.
Yep.
Voice of Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said. Did you hear you say Jim Varney?
Oh,
Jim Varney, Leonard
Yeah.
Nimoy,
No, but I mean,
mean,
come on. Like,
Neil McDonough. Like these are all names I know.
yeah.
kind of funny that Dana
Paul
Hill
Reiner?
played the young Duckman. Dana
Yeah.
Hill, most people know her from National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Yeah.
Audrey.
Yep. Yeah. The
Rest in peace.
yeah, the worst
Yeah.
Audrey though.
Yeah, just
She
rest
also
in
she also
peace,
played.
Corey.
Didn't
Rest
she
in
also play the 2-headed son?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
It's wild.
Nancy Travis from So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yes,
Come on.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
why I threw that at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you threw that out.
Mhm.
You throw it out.
Charlie Adler, another huge voiceover name.
I mean, the resume for this is
Eddie
is
Deason.
amazing. So
Well, John, if do you have another one after a corn-fed, another character that
No.
you liked? No.
No.
Yeah, corn-fed is kind of the best side character on the whole show.
Yeah. I mean, and where I stand, yes, I would definitely. I think it's another thing where if like I could see if I didn't get the chance to show this to my son. I think like if anyone would get it, like my son might actually enjoy this. So I might show it to him. And if he decides he wants to watch it and he starts watching it, it might be something where we'll sit down with him to watch it. I'm not actively going to go, searching, looking for it again.
Yeah.
But if he does, I might sit with him and watch it. Critic, I will watch by myself all day long, no matter what.
Yeah. Zach, any particular side characters you enjoyed when you watched it?
I mean, not really. Like it's. I mean, Duckman's funny.
Yeah.
The show's cute. Like I could see myself watching it more. I don't dislike it. I can see why you like it. It's just it was again.
A bird shits on his hair and turns it purple. Come on.
You get that? You get that, man?
Come on, man.
Oh, stop touching my leg, Corey. Stop. I'm right here. Where are you? I'm right here next to you. Yeah, no, but it's like it's cool that the show got 70 episodes. God bless it, That 70 episodes nowadays, that's unheard of for an animated show. Animated shows get like 12 and then you're done. And they're like 10 minutes long. This is 22 minutes, this is a full episode. That's impressive. Hats off to the animators. But it's not my style of animation that I like either. It's kind of, it's just not my thing. It's better than Thundercats Ho, I can tell you that much. If y'all have never had the opportunity to see that, seek it out because it'll make you cry. Actually, it's not as bad as the original Thundercats. The original Thundercats cartoon was not that great.
I know. I'm not a fan
The writing
of
is really bad.
the
voice acting was terrible.
intro is amazing on that, but the interior animation is terrible.
Oh man, we were watching and Bodie's like, that's Italian brain rot right there. Yeah, it's literally a crab and a shark with rockets on it. I'm like, that's Italian brain rot right there. There you go. Anyways, not a like a standout favorite character, but my God, it's fun. Jason Alexander's funny because I literally just watched him in Pretty Woman not that long ago.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, he's such a good scumbag. He's so good at like being a jerk. And I don't know, like as much as a jerk he is on Seinfeld, like there's something kind of lovable because it's a sitcom. But when you see him in movie form, you're like, ooh, you're just sleazy. So he's very versatile. I appreciate that.
But Zach, we saw him in The Burning when we reviewed that way back in the day.
With hair.
He was hunky in that movie. It's crazy.
Was he though?
Hunky.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's
Fit.
hunkier
He's
than he is, in Seinfeld.
Fisher Stevens is in that too.
Yes,
so
he
look,
is.
It
He
all
gets
comes back
He
around.
gets his fingers cut off. Diallo, I have a different question for you. What's your favorite liquid television show?
I mean, it was Aeon Flux, but I remember like Dog Boy. I don't know why I used to always want to see Dog Boy. Dog Boy.
That's the one I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that one. One of these days, we're gonna have to do a liquid television TV Obscura episode.
Y'all ever
Yeah.
watch Axe Cop? That show
yeah.
ruled.
Oh,
That
yeah.
show ruled.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Adam, you gotta watch Axe Cop, dude. It's written by like a 5-year-old, and so there's a.
That was the comic book. It was written by a 5-year-old and it was drawn by like his older brother who was like 20 or something
12.
like that. No,
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was like an
No,
actual.
he
like,
was
comic
grown.
book-
He
yeah,
was-
he was-
yeah.
Okay, that
He was grown,
explains
yeah.
a lot.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think the younger brother was probably a mistake. So
Where, like Adolf Hitler makes people like closes up your butt,
Yeah.
your butthole. So
yeah, it's wild. But yeah, they basically they write draw everything his little brother like tells him to do, and it's it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Q Corey.
It's funny. I didn't really start smoking weed until college, so
Oh well,
yeah. Well, actually,
all
after
make-
college, man.
we all have
Rolling
stories.
fatty, smoking blunts. He's smoking blunts.
Diallo, how are you gonna end this with Duckman and The Critic?
I recently wrote a pilot episode of a animated concept that starting to pitch, and it's nothing like this. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. If it ever comes to air, you'll be like, oh, this is what Diallo thinks is funny.
It's heckin' good boy BJ and
I
the Bear.
value jokes. I value like the randomness of jokes. I don't like just like, oh, just gonna be crazy, just be crazy. Like it just doesn't do it for me.
All right, but gun to your head, which of the two would you rather watch again?
Or are you eating that bullet?
It's funny. I was just watching this movie yesterday, called The Believer, and they have this
Believers?
whole concept of like the trolley, the trolley dilemma. You know that one where it's like there's a trolley
yeah.
and it can go two directions, and there's 5 people on one and there's one on the other, and like and as I was watching it, I was just like, you know what? I always reject when people give me only 2 choices.
That's fine, but I'm going to restate my question. Which one?
I'm always like, I don't play that game. I will just.
So you're
guns
you're
in my
eating the
head. I
bullet.
just might let you shoot me. I don't know. Like every time I'm watching the movie and they're like, pick between the other 2. I'm like, you know what? Like, just let them kill you. Like,
John,
you don't have to choose.
John, this is Diallo's Kobayashi Maru.
You don't have to play this game. It's a false choice anyway. So
Oh, boy.
I might just be.
Good
just
content.
shoot me. I don't know. I wouldn't watch
times.
either.
Good times. Adam,
I would actually try I would try to like disarm the person. That's what I would try to do. So
Not at all the question that I asked. But I appreciate
I know
your answer.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm gonna keep asking you until Corey presses stop. Pick one.
oh god, I will. Adam, take us out, man. End us on end us on something, my man. It's on you, buddy. Anything.
You're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
He's pouring up whiskey.
I had
for your
some
whiskey
fucking
pours.
zingers, and I've been muted this whole
You've been
goddamn
muted the whole goddamn time.
Man,
Oh,
Star
take
Wars
2.
and whiskey pours, guys and gals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been the universe saving us.
probably. Yeah, listen to Star Wars and Whiskey Pours, I guess, if that's what I'm going to talk about.
And he's so defeated now.
That's some stuff I thought was hilarious. I'm like, man, why the fuck are y'all
Why are you
responding to
laughing
me?
at my jokes, man?
Yeah. I mean, I thought both of these are enjoyable. They are both quality shows.
And yeah, Star Wars and Whiskey Wars. Check it out.
There you go. John, Throwback Trivia Takedown. This is going to be dropping actually next week. So what is like currently happening? Is there
What is happening, John?
contest? Not a
I
contest.
refuse to say anything until Diallo answers my question.
It's never going to happen. It's
Okay.
never going to happen.
John, I want you to come up with some Duckman trivia for your next
there
throwback
you go.
trivia take.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pitch. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Fozzie, tell
Let the
him.
dogs out.
I'm gonna pitch Comics Underground, even though it's completely defunct and I haven't recorded anything in like 3 years. Go listen to that one.
All right, good times. Zach, I'll let you go last. Let Fozzie work it out of her system. Diallo, do you have anything?
Wait,
to...
no, she worked it out.
Oh, she worked it out. Okay, you're back off mute. Okay.
No, you can go to Diallo.
Yeah.
Trolleys and 2 people going on
Yeah.
trolleys. Go for it.
No, I just, I was, I intended to drop the next chapter of First Noel Chronicles, but I got almost all the way through editing it, and I got some weird error, and it was just like a blank,
Brutal.
blank deal. So I was able to find a backup that didn't have to start all the way over again, but I haven't gotten back to it. So probably we'll drop that beginning of next month, and then. Like I said, then I'll have chapter 4, and then after that, chapter 5, and then after that, chapter 6.
And then Return of Duckman.
I think I know where this is
Chapter
going.
7.
Zach, what's going on $2 late fee?
When's this dropping?
I don't know. Next week. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that the
Hey,
beginning of March or is that the end of February?
I got Martial Art Madness coming up in March on $2 late fee. It's 3 or 4 episodes of interviews with martial artists, from James Pax, who played Lightning in Big Trouble in Little China.
Nice.
No Retreat, No Surrender reunion. Pete Sugarfoot Cunningham, who is from No Retreat, No Surrender, and Vince Murdocco, who he was in L.A. Wars, which is a really cheesy Vinegar Syndrome movie, but he's been in a bunch of Down the Dragon Wilson movies, Stuntman, et cetera, et cetera. Really cool stories all around with all these dudes. And
Nice.
Martial Art Madness.
Martial Art
Oh, and then we're
Madness.
covering the Great Kabuki on Territory Marks. If
There
you don't
you
know
go.
who Great Kabuki is, look him up. Google him.
Google him. You go do that, pal.
if you like wrestling, 80s wrestling, Great Kabuki, crazy guy.
Oh, man. This is a wild episode of TV Obscura, everybody. Adam, John, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It's a long one in the making.
I'm
Thanks
going
for
to go
having
watch
us.
some X Cop after this.
Dude,
Yes, I'm
yeah,
telling you,
buddy.
Adam.
Yeah,
yeah.
buddy.
You know it. By the way, it's so great to I haven't seen these 2 gentlemen in a long time, so it's really nice to see you guys and do the show. You're
sir.
hearing this, everybody, but we see them on the Zoom, so it's nice to get the gang back together.
All of our faccias, as your wife
Faccia's
would say.
Faccia's Italian for face, right?
I think so. Well, at least that's what your wife says. So,
Wow.
Damn.
all right, guys and
Is that
gals.
a compliment or a put down?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm a little
Is
confused,
that a
actually.
critic or Duckman? I don't know.
Who wants to take it? And as always,
We'll
catch you on the
obscure
obscure
side.
side.
Duckman critic. Be sure to subscribe to Podcasting After Dark on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can support the show by joining our Patreon page, picking up a t-shirt from our merch store, or leaving us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Podcasting After Dark. All links can be found on our website at www.podcastingafterdark.com. And join us next time for another cult movie or TV show review with Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer.